if I told you that mistakes, the things you believe are mistakes, could be the opening to more of a spiritual connection, to more freedom, more creativity, more even striving, efforting? Would you believe me? Well, I'm here to say that perfectionists do not think that they're perfectionists. What they think is they're managing mistakes, that they do not wish to make more mistakes, and that mistakes are a problem. So here's the veil that I'm lifting, and it's a veil that we all can use. How can we use it? Because even though we've all had different kinds of parenting, I have never met anyone whose parents said, "Yay, you made your mistakes. Good for you. Now you'll learn what you need to learn." Parents tolerate mistakes. Parents allow mistakes, but very few have had the wisdom, and I'll own it, the wisdom to laugh and have pleasure at our humanity. It's like preferring the ball to go up and saying, don't want it to go down. You can't leave it at a certain static place. The ball is going to go up and it's going to go down. And what you thought was a mistake may not be a mistake. It may be just the way it's supposed to be. It's only our perception that decides if it's a mistake. So if you're a perfectionist on the Enneagram, and if you're everybody else, including me, play with an experiment if you're interested. Start to be silly. You'll feel inauthentic. You won't believe it. But I promise you, it will open up a new neural pathway if you do it some more. And that's go, yay, a mistake. Oh, how funny. It's not, doesn't feel funny. And I'll tell you how I came to this even more. I knew this, and I really made a huge amount of progress on perfectionism when I decided I would expose every imperfect thing about myself that I could, especially with clients when I made a mistake, if I double booked, or if I was late, or if I said the incorrect word. I found that imagined unworthiness went down and down and down. But I found recently a new layer of a need to welcome mistakes, and it has been bringing more freedom. So here's how I came upon it. I'm taking this TikTok class, and recently in the last few years, the things I've done, like writing a book and this TikTok class and being in a business class with my author teacher, these have been expensive classes. And when you take an expensive class, if you're anything like me, and I see everybody in the class has a sense of urgency. We're not just whatever about the class because we've invested. And that's why they call it an investment rather than the price of the class or the cost of the class. So this TikTok class was relatively expensive, and so I'm all in. Plus, I trust the teacher. I know he knows what he's doing. He only teaches things he knows. So if it had been inexpensive, I'd have walked away from this TikTok class because I make mistakes every time, it seems. In the beginning, they were just bad. And he said, you keep them up, you make 3 a day, you leave them there, it will help your perfectionism. And everybody who has succeeded in life, whether you've been a teacher or you've been a landscaper or you've been whatever, when you've found some excellence, it's natural to see that you prefer the way that you think is correct. So it's not a bad thing, but we don't get to explore what could be if we lightened up on what we call mistakes. So I thought it was doing better. And then I found spelling errors in the title because I didn't put my glasses on. And recently, it's the mistakes are getting even bigger because, well, I don't know why, but I found that I thought what do they call it? The dialogue, there's a word, so you get the transcription on the side. I can't think of the word right now, but it's doubled. You get it underneath my face and then you get it across my face because I don't know, I hit something. And then today I did the title, I hit some crazy button and it translated, I think, into it's either Spanish or it could be Portuguese. And I could not get rid of it. ChatGPT couldn't get rid of it. Nobody knew how to get rid of it. So I left it on there. And it's like, oh, I feel so free. I already, you know, the teacher says that when you make mistakes, people feel more comfortable with you. And he says, actually, it helps your algorithm because people will correct you, and then that's engagement. So it's all good. And, there are 50 to 100 people in this class, 50 that show up and 100 in the class. And it's so fun to see everybody let go of the need to show they don't make mistakes. Because who doesn't make mistakes in life? Like every single day, don't you make mistakes? Sometimes you're able to correct it. Sometimes nobody sees. But I do feel freer to try something else. Just because I've let all that imagined unworthiness, the cover up of the mistakes, that's where we get into trouble. So here's to freedom, creativity. Won't you try it? If you do, just try exposing your errors that you think are errors, leaving them out there for people to see. Or 3, being silly and going, yay, I made a mistake and everybody can see. And maybe pick a partner and do this together because it's just so great an experience. If you do it for, let's say, a month, maybe instead of, they have these, it starts with an A. It's about what you've accomplished. They have these meetings where you hook up with someone and you tell them, you report all of your accomplishments. And instead of that, hook up with someone and tell them all the mistakes you made and have them go, yay, good for you. So this is a time for silliness to take away the heaviness, because here's the thing. Why do we have to be so perfect? It's because we don't feel good enough. And the truth is, we are good enough. So I leave you with that, my friend.